How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today, we've actually got a pretty darn big video, guys. So, there's this brand new rumor, okay? This brand new rumor that came from 4chan, and this rumor contains a lot of different points and things that I think are worthwhile talking about, because if this ends up being a real rumor, this rumor ends up being an actual quote-unquote leak, which it isn't. It's currently just a rumor, but if it ends up being a leak and it ends up being, correct, then this could be, actually insane. So, I thought we'd read this, just for you guys and talk about it, because usually, people kind of dismiss everything from 4chan and all that sort of stuff. Also, my hair is so weird over here, dude. People tend to, dismiss 4chan and stuff very easily. Even though 4chan has had the most amount of actual leaks, right? It's had the most amount of actual leaks ever, out of all the other places we, kind of roll around inside of, so to say, or kind of, stick around when it comes to information or leaks or rumors or whatever. For example, Koro hasn't had anything interesting for a while. There's just been a lack of stuff from those sort of areas. So 4chan's really the only place we can go to if you want to have speculations, rumors, and that sort of stuff. And currently there's a rumor that I think is worthwhile talking about, because it actually has a lot of interesting information. So I thought we'd jump into it right away here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at the actual rumor here. So, it's listed right here. We're going to go through this one by one because it has a lot of points and I want to discuss each one of them. If you just want what it says here and just the information, there you go. You can read it right there. There you go, boom, it's right in front of you, so you can read that if you want to, and, you don't need to watch the rest of the video. But if you want to see the breakdowns of each one of the points, then keep watching, because I'm going to break down each one of the points in my own opinion, and the way I see them, and the way I feel about them. So, let's start with the first one here, which is HMs are still replaced by Poke Rides. So this one makes sense, right? They've already replaced kind of the general HMs in general. They've changed them, right? Poke Rides changed them in Sun and Moon, and in Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, we had the different, abilities, the special abilities for our Pikachu and Eevee, right? That they can, use to let us fly, to let us, do whatever the hell we want to do. Use Strength, use Rock Smash, etc., that sort of stuff, except I'm not sure if Rock Smash was in the games. Either way, my point is that they removed HMs from the, equation, so to say, in the games across the board. It's just, it isn't there anymore. So, assuming there's going to be a change once again, and, just a new format for HMs moves, but not actually have them as HM moves, but, similar to Pokemon Ride or the way they worked in Let's Go, is totally normal. It doesn't, it doesn't seem out of the ordinary. It doesn't seem like too left field to be, something that I'd be like, oh, this makes no sense, right? This doesn't have any logic to it. But whatever. Let's get to the next one here. So the next one here is new field moves to aid with exploration. Now, this one, I don't know what this means, because they said new field moves to aid with exploration. Does that mean, stuff like HMs, which, help you with removing rocks in certain areas or that sort of stuff? Or is it something else they're talking about? Because when I say exploration, I'm getting very curious about what that could be or what that could mean. As exploration could imply a lot of different things. Exploration of what? Like movesets, Pokemon, world, specifically world is what I think they're talking about here, but I'm just curious what this could mean, because if we actually have brand new moves, brand new, generally brand new moves, that would be really cool. But I'm gonna actually look into some more, other stuff here. Field moves, Pokemon, let's go. Let's see if there's any interesting specific ones. So, HMs, like I mentioned, are essentially not present anymore, as we mentioned from the first one there. But if there are new field moves, aka new HMs, so to say, then I would expect it to be pretty interesting stuff, to be frankly honest. So, next one here. It is not open world, but the largest region yet. Now, this one, I'm happy about this. It also makes sense, right? Because that's what we've been getting implied here by a lot of times here. Masuda specifically said to us a long time ago that we shouldn't be expecting really a open world Pokemon game, because we already have that with Pokemon Go, with major quotation marks on that one from me, because I don't agree with Masuda on that. But, we weren't supposed to be expecting a open world Pokemon game anytime soon, so this kind of confirms that, we should still not be expecting that, but we should be expecting something within the realm of that, which is very possible. Now, that is one of the things here. So, what do I feel about it? Well, I'm okay with it, right? I'm okay with it. As long as it's a big region, and there's a lot of things to explore and find and do, I'm fine with it. I never really said that I wanted 100% open world, because it could be pretty hard to make Pokemon work in a fully 100% open Pokemon world, but you can definitely make it work in a larger region with more space to actually space things out instead of having everything really crammed into each other, right? Which is what Pokemon has an issue with. Everything is just crammed into each other, and there's no space to really kind of like breathing room, right, in between like cities and places and routes, you know, because routes end up being very short, and the things that are in the way are very, like, you know, specifically placed out to make it so that, you know, any exploration really is pointless, and, you know, just really not beneficial. So the next thing here he mentions is that there are two antagonist teams with different version differences, sorry. So this is interesting. We haven't had two antagonist teams in a single game since, like, what, I think, Ruby Sapphire. That's not the only games that have actually had two teams, like, you know, two teams directly present in the game, specifically from that game. That's the only time I think we've ever seen that. So them doing that again would be actually very interesting if they were to go down that path. Like, I'd really wonder how that would look like. If there's version exclusive differences between them, if there's two of them, right, two teams with version differences, that makes sense, because, you know, that would be, you know, like, oh yeah, cool, like one team, like, for example, like if a Team Aqua character showed up, you know, in Pokemon Ruby or whatever, just for a brief minute, and then in the other game, you know, instead of that that person that would show up, that, you know, NPC or that grunt, it would instead be like a Team Magma one, you know what I mean? Like, so basically it's that sort of differences I would expect to be happening. Now, next team here is a real major antagonist. The real major antagonist is not a member of any team. That is actually pretty cool. I'm okay with that. That makes sense as well, because, you know, that would be totally logical to me. Hey, you know, just like a hidden mystery man, which would be totally cool, actually. And this is the part that I actually love the most, that comes up right here. Box Legends only appear in post-game. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this would be fantastic, because honestly, the big problem in Pokemon is that legendaries have just kind of lost their flair, and if you made them a post-game thing that doesn't, you know, that involves you having to go through a bunch of other stuff to catch them, fantastic. As long as there's a interesting story and things to do and a little adventure to get them, that is good. So if they are post-game, like this says, this would be fantastic. But then again, this is all a rumor, so don't take this with 100% certainty and assume that this is all real. It's all just speculation, rumors, and just, you know, you got to look at this from like a, you know, from like a bird's eye view and be like, okay, this could be possible, but it's not guaranteed. But if this is real, box legendaries being in the post-game, only appearing in the post-game, that's great. I would be so excited about that. Now, there's a new iteration of gyms with unique challenges, which sounds good. Now, new iteration is a bit questionable, because does that mean it's still gyms, the way gyms work? You get badges, you get 8 of them, or, you know, is there some different system to them, or is there like different challenges there, or, you know, do you still battle them normally? Like, what kind of gyms, like when you say new iteration, is it more of them, is it less of them, are they changed, is there challenges instead of gym battles? Like, what's the deal with unique challenge? Okay, it mentions unique challenges, so what kind of challenges I would wonder. Then he continued here saying that runes can be used to customize abilities. Now, this is, I don't feel this, but this is the one where I lose faith in this rumor, right? This is where I lose the faith in this rumor, because it just doesn't seem like it makes any sense. Runes, really, runes. Like, runes would imply something like, I mean, if I think runic stuff, I think like Vikings, right? They use runes to make scriptures and stuff like that, so, or texts, I guess. And that's the only time I can think of something like that, right? You know, rune text and stuff. So why would you have runes in Pokemon and that being used to customize abilities? Like, why would you customize abilities specifically? Like, abilities in Pokemon, I mean, oh yeah, I guess maybe customizing abilities on the Pokemon. Okay, yeah, I guess there's a way, but I was thinking like customizing the actual ability itself and changing the way it works, which would be very weird. So I don't know about that one. I just don't know about that one. Either way, next thing here is Pokemon Circus, including games, local, and online. Now, this is interesting. Pokemon Circus includes games, local, and online. So that would be pretty cool, like a Pokemon Circus, like a little bit of a mini-game area, which I've been asking for a mini-game area, which we never got a mini-game area in Let's Go Pikachu Squeezy. So getting a mini-game area in this upcoming game would be fantastic. I've said this about Generation 8 already in my wish list. I said in my wish list, I want something like this, something more, you know, substantial to work with. But we haven't gotten something like that yet, which is very disappointing. But if this ends up being real, then hell to the yes, mate. I'm so on board for it. But then again, we just have to wait and see how that ends up happening here. So, final thing, or the final two things. Pokeball Plus and Go connectivity, which is okay, that makes sense. We gotta remember one thing, right? They worked hard to make that connection between the Switch, right here, and the iPhone, and just not the iPhone specifically, but like, you know, the phone, iPhone, Android, etc. The connection between those two to work. They worked on that for a bit of time and try to make the, you know, the connection between those two work. So I don't think they'd throw away that technology that they use in Let's Go. I don't think they'd throw that technology away. without utilizing it, and also using this as another promotional means for the Generation 8 games, right? That's logical. Why would you throw something away that already works and that you can, utilize again to help promote your upcoming new games on the Switch as well? Like, what's the point of not using that feature? It's just like another easy way to do it. So I think that makes a lot of sense, logical. And finally here, it is that it will be revealed later this month, which is what we've all been speculating, that February is going to be the release window, or reveal, sorry, not release, reveal window for Generation 8 and the games. But then again, we do not know about that any yet, so we'll see what happens. But generally speaking though, here's my general thoughts on all this, if you want to hear that. I think this seems like the most logical one. I mean, this doesn't go, like, out of bounds and go too crazy, and that's the problem with a lot of these rumors. Is I see people like, send me like a million different rumors all the time, and I don't cover them, okay? I don't cover all of them because they're just too ludicrous and too out of the ordinary to even be considered real. This I feel like can be considered real because, not like real, but like rather you can kind of think about it in the manner of like, oh, this could potentially be a thing, and the reason you can potentially think about it as being a thing is because it seems the most logical and it seems the least far-fetched one. Yes, I made that joke. But like seriously, all the other ones, they are pretty far-fetched and pretty out of the, pretty like over the top, right? Like, those like rumors that say like, oh, the game's gonna be called this and that, and it has gonna have a million different things, right? Those are usually, those are fake. The ones that don't give you a lot, the ones that give you like just the basics, basic, is usually the ones that I kind of like, have more interesting, time dissecting and going through. For example, here, the biggest issue I have with these ones here is like, the question of like using runes to be used for customization of abilities just sounds very strange and weird and just dumb, kind of. HMs being still replayed by Poker Rides is normal, that makes sense. New field moves to add to A2 with exploration makes sense as well. Not open world, but the largest region yet, that 100% makes sense. 2 antagonist teams, a little bit odd because we haven't seen that for a while, and I don't know why they would do that right now again. Real major antagonist is not a member of any team, sure, that makes sense. Box legends only appear in post-game, very strange, but I would be on board for it. But then again, that doesn't mean that it's, makes it any realer. If anything, it makes it feel more out of the ordinary, more strange and unlikely. New iteration of gyms with unique challenges. No, who knows? It's Game Freak. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about this? What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? And thank you so much for watching. My name is RuffledRowlit, as per usual. I appreciate you guys watching these videos. If you do enjoy them, then feel free to subscribe for future ones. And of course, drop a like down below, as it does help out. It goes a long way. And either way, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for watching. My name is RuffledRowlit. Have yourselves a great day, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.